everybody, I'm Jammer, and I told you the next Smash Direct was going to be in November. Granted, it's the first day of November, but it's still November. This looks to be the big one. This looks to be the final reveal all of this Smash Direct. They're going to show off everything we last need to know about this game. But before we get into all that, with this big of a Nintendo Direct coming, we need to be properly equipped for this predictions video. None of this blue suit, none of that suit of justice. We need to pull out the big guns. We need to find the green suit. It's time to give you my predictions for the final Smash Nintendo Direct
directory
to you. What we know so far, the game comes out in a little over a month. This presentation is going to be 40 minutes long. That means it's super in-depth. For perspective, the Smash Direct a few months back at the end of the summer after E3 was only 35 minutes. Yeah. Therefore, they're going to be talking about a lot of things, and I think, and this is the big one, guys. This is the final Smash Direct. We're not getting another one until after the game releases, if they do something else, whatever. This is the final one. If they do any character reveals after this Direct, it's going to be probably just in random trailer segments or in a regular Nintendo Direct or something like that. So as far as a bunch of reveals, this is it. If there's anything else after this, like I said, I could see one more trailer with one new character or something like that, but this is where everything's gonna be. So there's been a lot of talk about the final roster with the recent Grinch leak. I won't go into it, you've probably heard it to exhaustion at this point. Basically talking about how the potential final roster has been leaked with the giant art poster. We'll know on Friday if that was real or not, we'll see here. However, definitely what's going to happen is we're going to see a lot of newcomer reveals in this trailer. I think even more than the Smash Direct we saw over the summer. That Smash Direct brought us 2 newcomers and 3 echoes. Oh my gosh, that's not 5 characters. We got Simon Belmont, King K. Rool's the 2 newcomers. Rich. Oh my gosh, you guys always correct me. Is it Ricker? Rick. I always say Richter, but it's like Ricker or something. I don't know. He's technically a newcomer, but also an echo at the same time, so we'll just put in the echo category. Then of course we had Shadow Mario. No, we didn't. We had Shadow Samus. No, we didn't! We had Dark Samus and Chrom. From what we've seen in the past with how they formatted that direct, I could see it very similar here. It's gonna launch with a brand new newcomer trailer, new CGI trailer, and it's gonna blow us off. It's gonna be the big boy right off the bat. It's gonna be another third-party character. Who it's gonna be? I don't know. It could be Banjo Kazooie, Crash Bandicoot, I guess. It could be Minecraft Steve. I think this Direct's going to start with a big new CGI trailer, and it's going to be a big third-party reveal right off the bat. So I think that's just a great way to set the tone for the whole thing, and similar how to like what they did with the Simon Belmont thing is as soon as the CG trailer ended, they went into more in-depth talking about the character, about its moves, what stages come along with it, music, blah, 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 and if there's any incorporation and other things like, you know, how there's a Dracula boss fight, if there's something with here, I don't know. Similar to also that Smash Direct over the summer, I could totally see them doing another Echo Fighter sizzle reel. This is a great place where they could show off Ken, where they could show off Shadow the Hedgehog, if he's a thing. Like I said, I think we're going to be getting more new character reveals in this Direct than we did in the previous one, honestly. We got 5 there. I could see us getting 6 or nearly 7 characters. Granted, a good majority could be echoes. It could be like 4 echoes, you know. That only leaves us 3 brand new characters, which actually seems pretty reasonable in my opinion. So because of that, we could see, again, a similar Echo sizzle reel, and they just go through 4 quick echoes, like Ken, Shadow, and maybe 2 other characters. But here's the tricky part, where K. Rool kind of bookended the previous Nintendo Direct and kind of just brought it all together so there's a newcomer at the end and the beginning. If I'm thinking there's going to be 3 newcomers, I'm not sure how they're going to, like, splice it up, you know? I think it still makes sense to have one at the beginning and one at the end, but if there's a third one, where does it go? Does it go smack in the middle? Does it go back to back with the first one? I don't know. I'm sure there's a way to figure it out. Or maybe perhaps if this newcomer also has similar ties to the other newcomer, maybe they're from the same series, but they're technically 2 brand new characters or something. They could kind of put them back to back if they kind of match in that way. But if they're all 3 different distinct newcomers, I think there'd be, I don't know, they'll figure out a way to space it out. As far as who I think it's going to be, I think with the developments we've had with the Grinch leak and how it's been questionable at this point. Honestly, I don't really know what to believe in regards to that. I think a lot of it could be true, but at the same time, it feels a little too ambitious with the amount of newcomers versus echoes. That poster is saying there's only 2 new echoes coming, just Shadow and Ken. And I personally feel like there's going to be a few more than that. And I think the choice of having, what, almost 6 brand new newcomers coming, I think that's a little too much. I don't think there's going to be that many characters. I think characters who definitely have a high chance of being in this direct, 2 of which are Banjo Kazooie and Geno. If there is any collaboration with Microsoft, I think the 2 characters that make the most sense to obvious everyone is Banjo Kazooie or Minecraft Steve. And I could honestly see either happening. I'm leaning towards more Banjo because he's been more relevant with Nintendo platforms and has been highly requested for many years. Not many people are requesting the Minecraft character, even though that game is now on nearly every console and has held a large portion of the market share for years now. He's an iconic character, whether we like to admit it or not, but is he like an iconic Nintendo third-party character? Some could say yes, because I'm sure plenty of people played Minecraft on 3DS or Wii U or Switch. And I know Banjo's been long and forgotten and is in the past, but Smash is a celebration of Nintendo history, gaming history for that matter. And Banjo played a large role in revolutionizing the 3D platforming genre. He hasn't had much of an influence since the past, but I mean, neither is K. Rool or Simon Belmont for that matter. So I think he does have a chance, but we'll just have to wait and see. I could also see a new character from Square Enix being either Sora from Kingdom Hearts or Geno, of course, from Super Mario RPG. I personally think Geno's got a better chance just because he's constantly talked about throughout the Smash community. He always landed very high in all the Smash Fighter battle polls. I think going with the trends of how these newcomers have been kind of following the highly requested characters of the battle, which I've talked about at length in tons of videos. If we're continuing that trend, it makes sense that Geno would be that next slot. Don't get me wrong, of course, Sora has also gotten a ton of support as well. So it's kind of up in the air, but I'm leaning towards more Geno being an inclusion. Because, I mean, he had his own definitive Mii Fighter costume. Sakurai knows people want him in the game. So if they somehow figure out how to get him in with all the licensing and whatever, I think that'll make fans ecstatic. Beyond those 2, I really don't know if there's any other third parties I can think of off the top of my head. There could be someone we didn't even expect at all coming out of nowhere. Or there could be another new character from already an existing third-party relationship through Sega, Konami, Namco. That's always a possibility, but I think those 2 are our highest contenders, being Banjo and Geno. As far as the other 2 echoes, I'll just throw it out there. I talked about it previously, but I could see maybe Black Knight from Fire Emblem being an Ike echo. I'd love to see Ninten, kind of a pseudo echo of both Lucas and Ness together. Maybe not likely, but I'd love to see that too. Moving over to first party characters, this list has been ever-changing and expansive. There's plenty of people supporting Cinnamoroar, Chorus Kids, Isaac, Bandana, Waddle Dee. There are so many characters people have been listing and requesting and theorizing could be one of the last newcomers. I'm actually not sure who's gonna be. There was recently that kind of rumor where they saw a new item in the Wendy's Tailgate Tour Smash trailer, whatever, promo video thing. It looks similar to the icon of the healing field that's already an item in the game. It could be something similar to it. It could be a brand new item just designed for Smash Brothers, but people have also noticed it has shown similarities to one of the consumable items from Golden Sun, maybe perhaps indicating that there's some representation here in Smash, whether it be a new character or just the item, who knows. That's kind of a question mark right now. They could indicate towards something, but not enough information to make a guess yet. I think our most likely characters could be a new Pokemon because it just seems so strange to me that a new Smash should come out and no new Pokemon comes alongside it, especially to represent the new generations. Beyond that, I could see the Chorus Kids. I know there's been a lot of talk about them even being potentially like prototyped for Wii U, so they could expand upon that and bring them here into this game, but at the same time, I'm not sure. I don't know. Okay, let's just move on. I want to talk about the big thing. The big thing this direct's going to be about, which is the new Spirits brand new mode that they teased in the last direct. The Sakurai being cheeky, saying,
"Hey, we'll talk about this later.
This Friday, that's the day. We're talking about this now." I've talked about in the past what I think it's going to be. A lot of people think it's going to be a boss rush. Other people think it's going to be like a new Subspace Emissary, which I think that's a little too ambitious. I mean, they're already dealing with the biggest Smash roster in history. Do you think they're also developing a brand new single-player experience with CG? No. There's no way. I talked about this previously, but I'll quickly reiterate my ideas here. I personally think it's going to be something similar to the Adventure mode in Melee. A lot of fans have always been requesting that mode comes back. They always adore and love that mode. And I agree, it's really fun traversing the environments of different series within Smash Brothers as your characters. So you could play as Link running through the Mushroom Kingdom, or Mario running through Green, Star Fox in a Metroid level. It's kind of what really brings this crossover together, because it shows these playable characters actually in the environments of the other series. And I think because this game has the widest selection of series in Smash Bros. History, there's really no better place to bring that back. Except I think it could see some changes, because while in Melee, it really only had like a selection of stages, some series were not even represented, like Game & Watch, for example. And even with the series that were represented, it was nearly a 25 plus minutes to get a full play session, if not longer. Which is fine, I guess, but I think because you're going to be playing this with every single character in the game, which could be almost 70 characters, that will be a grind if you're doing it 25-minute sections with every 70. Oh my gosh, no. So I think it's in their best interest to kind of make this more a shorter play session experience. What I propose is maybe there is an adventure mode, but maybe it has like a map with diverging paths. Based on what objectives you do and how you beat the stage, depends on where you will go along this path. Maybe a full play session of the adventure mode would be maybe 10 to 15 minutes. You'll only go on the certain paths, which really promotes replayability with the multiple characters to then try out the different routes. When they initially talked about this concept, and they talked about the Rathalos as well as the Dracula, they said that you had a chance to fight these guys. That's why to me it doesn't make much sense that this would be a boss rush mode, because why would you have a chance to fight the boss? Would it be just like a random order of boss? Like, that doesn't feel right. Like, if it was a boss rush, it'd be boss, 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 and you'd know what's coming next. I think a more likely scenario, kind of going with this adventure mode idea, if you complete certain objectives, maybe a secret path will branch off and giving you the option to then fight Dracula. Perhaps maybe you play the Castlevania stage, right? And maybe there's some Easter egg or something like you have to break a certain number of lanterns or something like that. Or maybe it's even input the Konami code or something funny. And then after beating the stage, a new path opens off to the left saying, oh, here's the secret area to go fight Dracula. Melee's Adventure Mode had similar ideas where they'd offer secret stuff based on certain objectives. Like if you beat the Kirbys fast enough, you could fight a Mega Kirby. If you beat the Mushroom Kingdom stage with a 2 in the second hand, you have the opportunity to fight Luigi. Kind of stuff like that incorporated into this adventure mode, giving players the opportunity to have unique experiences every time you go through it. The idea I also had is kind of going with the theming of the Switch and having the opportunity to use co-op whenever you want, having the 2 split Joy-Cons. This would be a really great co-op mode where you and a friend could play together through this mode and fight bosses and beat Master Hand at the end, or whatever. This would be a great way to represent all the series, but not force the player to play through all the stages to then get to the end. Because if you had to play through all the series in a row, it'd just get tedious, and it'd be, oh my gosh, you'd play an hour before you could get to the end. I think it's a great way to then represent all the series, promote replayability, as well as giving an opportunity to play with someone in a co-op way. So that's my personal take on the Spirits mode. Other people have talked about other ideas. Beyond that, I think there's other stuff we don't know about Smash. I mean, we haven't really seen any trophies at all, I'm pretty sure. We don't know anything about the other modes like home run contest or if maybe a target smash is coming back. And that's something I talked about previously, is that perhaps they could be bringing back the melee target smashes where each character, each fighter has an original map designed for that character's ability. Kind of like how Young Link had to do wall jumps and use his boomerang to hit his targets. How Fox and Falco had to use their side B to kind of go across dangerous spikes and then hit targets. I think that'd be a great inclusion to bring back. Give the game even more single player content. And I just love to have that target test back. I also think we'll get a better look at the classic mode itself. I think there was a mention of it saying it's going to be similar to how it was in Smash 64, where you play a certain characters in a row and you fight Master Hand at the end, but we didn't obviously see Master. We're going to see Master Hand. I could see, oh yeah, I could see it. Like I said, this is the big direct. I think we're going over everything. The characters, the new stages, the spirit mode, the trophies, the side modes. This is where we're going to know everything. So before I wrap up, to quickly recap. Spirits mode, I think it's going to be a co-op thing similar to adventure mode, branching paths, boss fights, blah blah blah, something like that. As far as newcomer characters, I think we'll see a potentially Banjo Kazooie and Geno. As far as first party characters, we could see an Isaac, we could see a Chorus Kid. Bandinity's never really been in any sort of rumors or leaks, so I don't think he's as likely. We could see an Incineroar, and I think the most likely of all these characters could be a Pokemon, but I'm not entirely sure. As far as Echoes, I think we're definitely getting Ken and Shadow at the very least. Beyond that, it really could be anybody. And then they're gonna go over the trophies, the other side modes, blah blah blah, and please target smash. That's almost what I want the most. The newcomers and the knowing what Spirits mode is, that's a definitive. But as far as bringing back target smash, there's been no word on that, so bring it back, please. But what do you guys think? What are your guys' predictions for the upcoming Smash Bros. Nintendo Direct? Let me know that in the comments. Let's get the discussion going. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big awesome like. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe for tons more on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, as well as on this Smash Nintendo Direct. Of course, as the day it airs, I plan to record and upload my reaction to it as soon as I possibly can, and then throughout the weekend and the following week, of course, I'll further develop my thoughts on the Spirits modes and what other new characters are unveiled. and we'll just go from there. It's going to be a great ride, guys. 1 month. 1 month, roughly. Can you believe it? No, I can't. Thanks again, guys, so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.